I can't do this anymore. I need to get my nails done.
I cannot stand you. And I want the whole world to know I cannot stand you.
When I look at him, my whole body's like, ugh.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Gina.
Welcome to Mormon Wives Confidential. This episode of Mormon Wives Confidential is going to be about what? The first 3 episodes?
Just the first 3 episodes. So spoiler alert, just if you haven't seen the first 3 episodes, there might be some spoilers here. I personally love spoilers before I watch anything. So I would watch no matter what, and you should. But
yeah, absolutely. 1,000%. Yeah.
Yes. I think the first thing to start with, especially the highlight of episode 1, is Jesse's disastrous marriage to Jordan.
I don't know how she does it. I really
Oh
don't.
my God, he's so insufferable. When I look at him, my whole body's like, ugh.
Oh, seriously.
It's just like everything he does is so cringy, and she's clearly so embarrassed by him. The first thing is when he decides to basically stick it to Jesse and go to Vanderpump Villa with all the dad talk guys, which you know how I feel about dad talk. You know how I feel about it. It's just embarrassing, and it's riding on their coattails. And it's like, go get real jobs somewhere else.
They're so cringy. Like, the men are all about, we're going to show the women that they don't have a monopoly on social media, that they aren't the only ones that could do this TikTok stuff. Like, they are going into Vanderpump Villa fully knowing that Marciano, who caused all of this drama for both Demi and Jesse, well, to kind of decide who caused the drama. Was it Demi or Marciano?
Yeah.
But Marciano had caused all of this drama through season 3, and the men are like, all right, we're gonna go and we're gonna
Let's stir back up again. Let's just stir the pot. And obviously Jesse's not thrilled with this, as she shouldn't be, but she allows it. I feel like she clearly is with him, and she's just really on the fence about it, and she's really sick of him. And we see some things behind the scenes of their marriage too, like a huge fight they have it seemed like on the Ring camera in their home, where they're like fighting, and she goes to a hotel and stays in a hotel, which means the fight must be really bad.
Apparently this is like a regular thing for their marriage, that she's staying at a hotel like on such a regular, like so often that the girls know that when she has her big bag with her that she's going to stay in the hotel that night.
Yeah, they're like, oh, she's in the hotel again.
Yeah.
And it's like, she also lives in a massive house, so can't they just go to different wings of the house? Is it that bad she can't be anywhere like in a mile radius of him?
And also she pays for the house, so shouldn't
Right.
he go to the hotel?
Like, why does she have to stay at the Hyatt down the road? Why kick him out? Kick his ass out.
Oh, and what's funny, like, so as far as like the Vanderpump Villa, she is just like, go. It's like when we get time off from our husband and child,
F out.
she's like, goodbye, go. This is a good time for you to leave and get out of the house. Like, she's barely fazed at the idea that there's going to be women there who are basically, part of the hospitality that Lisa Vanderpump offers is women coming on to the men and the men coming on to the women. I mean, this is all like, the hospitality of Vanderpump Villa, that got all the women in trouble in the last season. So she seems kind of unfazed by that. She's just like, get the F out.
All the other women are so concerned about their husbands being surrounded by these women, and she's just like, I mean, I'm sure she's just kind of like she's like rolling her eyes, and she's like, this is so dumb, but like, fine, go.
Yeah. Goodbye.
And yeah, and I think it's just shows like where she is, and they had that separation last season, and then they said everything was good again or on its way up, and now it seems like that is not the case.
So one of the big moments in episode 1, there's a sip and see for the babies for Macy.
It's not about
Michaela,
you, Jordan. It's not about
and Jen's
you.
babies, and he like makes this big Vanderpump Villa announcement at the sip and see. Like, totally, they're literally about to do like thank you for coming to see our children, our new babies. Like, they're literally about to say that when he jumps in with this Vanderpump Villa announcement. It's like, bro. Like, not the place, like not even close to the place. It's so awkward. It's so cringeworthy.
Jesse's clearly embarrassed. And then the humiliation tour continues when they have some sort of like some gathering before the Vanderpump Villa, before the crew takes off, which is now in the UK instead of in Italy. I don't know. I guess we'll find out next season of Vanderpump Villa, which we will be watching at least this episode for sure. But they have this gathering, and then Jordan gets in a fight with Layla, and then says like horrible things about Layla, how she cheats on all her boyfriends or husbands. And it's so And Layla's upset, Jesse's upset, and Jesse even says to him, "Stop embarrassing me."
Yeah, she literally says, "You are so embarrassing." I couldn't even imagine like saying to your husband, "You are so embarrassing," and knowing full well that that's going to be on camera and that everybody's going to see it. That's how embarrassing he is. That she's like, "I cannot stand you, and I want the whole world to know I cannot stand you," and it's really sad because, Layla's gone through just so much in her personal life before she came on to Mom Talk and the Mormon Wives. As the U.S. Sun exclusively broke, I got her divorce papers. We did a great story about it very recently. And she clearly had a lot of issues with her husband. She has talked openly about how it took a really long time to divorce him. It took her 2 years to finally get the papers to be finalized because he wasn't compliant to the different parts of the divorce. There was a clause about how you can't use drugs, that they're not allowed to use drugs around their children, which is a weird, unusual.
It's not standard.
It's not a standard
Utah divorce. Okay.
In Utah divorces, we've now pulled several of these women's divorces.
You're like, I'm an expert in the Utah legal system.
It's not in every single divorce. It's so far I've only seen it in Layla's divorce with her ex. So yeah, I mean, she's gone through so much, and to be called a cheater on camera when
by
she's
her friend's husband.
By her friend's husband, when she's dating one of the guys in kind of a dad talk adjacent with Mason, Chase's brother, to say that is so messed up.
It's so messed up, and Jesse's had
it's
it.
the equivalent of calling somebody a
Right.
basically. That's such a foul thing for Jordan to have said.
And
so
Layla's
misogynistic and so screwed up.
Layla's very classy and just leaves and is like, I'm leaving, have a good night.
Yeah, it's
And
horrible.
That's not what Jess Finn would do if someone ever said that to her.
We'd be brawling.
There would be a brawl.
I wouldn't hit a guy, but I don't know, maybe I would.
We'll see.
We'd see.
Jesse, in real time, we just want to mention how we talked last week a lot about her plastic surgery makeover and everything she's done, from her labia to her boobs to her nose to the fat grafting in her face to the eyes. And she just really went in a really emotional, heartbreaking TikTok the other day, just talking about how much she regrets her plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And how she wishes she could have seen her inside beauty, and how she really begs fans, don't do what I did.
Yeah, it's a very emotional and upsetting video. She's doing, I want to say Kybella is a certain
Yes.
is that a massage or a technique to move?
I think it's a light lipo to get fat cells out, because I think you can do it for body sculpting.
Yes.
So she's doing it on her face.
Because she's trying to remove the fat from her lips and
her cheeks
her
too, I
lips
think.
are uneven. She's beautiful. The woman's beautiful. She was beautiful before, and she still looks beautiful now. But she's clearly going through a lot of mental anguish over the changes that she's taken on in her looks.
Yeah, and she said that for season 5, which they're filming now because they never take breaks, it's going to be a lot about her journey with that. And she said she looks crazy because she's so swollen. I can't imagine how hard that is to look in the mirror and see a different person. So Jessie, we feel you. I think she's beautiful. I think she's smart. I think she deserves better than what Jordan's giving her.
Yeah.
And I really, I guess we'll see how it unfolds.
So there's been a lot of other drama behind the scenes. We have Miranda and Taylor got into a weird fight right off the top of the show over Chase. This man, okay, buddy.
Yeah, so at the very end of last season, the finale, Chase and Taylor go on a date, which she thinks isn't a date, but then he says it is a date, and they're very flirty at the dinner. He was supposed to apologize to her for some behavior, but they end up flirting. And then in the premiere, he helps her move, and they're very touchy-feely. He picks her up, scoops her up like a baby, or Dirty Dancing almost. It's very strange. And Miranda gets wind of this from Layla, and I think we see a side of Miranda. She's not normally so vulnerable. She's very smart and leveled and very reasonable, but she really breaks down to Layla when she hears about this date.
She actually starts crying, which is just surprising because she really is just so even keeled. And it's very emotional because I'm sure it brings up all of the cheating, the alleged cheating that happened during their swinging scandal between Taylor and Chase, or at least, we don't know exactly the extent of it, if it was just an emotional infidelity or if it went full blown into, a physical thing between the two of them. But there was definitely, it definitely brought up a lot of emotions over that difficult traumatic experience that they kind of all went through, and it destroyed their marriages, both Taylor's and Miranda's. So it's interesting to watch how Miranda reacts, even though she's so over this guy. She is so over Chase. Like,
she's more upset with Taylor than Chase. I think she's like, I expect this from Chase, but I don't expect this from you anymore because we've come so far. So she confronts her at the sip and see, and Taylor's like, no, it really wasn't like that. However, I mean, there might be more feelings when Miranda actually watches the footage and is like, okay, it was really flirty. And she actually, I saw that she liked a comment on a blog, or on an Instagram, basically calling out Taylor and Chase's behavior, and is like, why are you not thinking of Miranda? And she liked it. She hearted the comment. So clearly she still has some feelings, perhaps after she watched the footage. Like, I don't get why sometimes these people don't remember. They're on camera. Everyone's going to watch this. They know that you were flirting.
So as much as Miranda got emotional over this situation with Chase and Taylor while Layla was telling her, she's so clearly over this man. Like, she is so over this man, despite the fact that they're still married legally, which we broke at the U.S. Sun. So, but besides that, she's like emotionally over him. And you can see why. This guy is such a freaking hot mess. He literally has a warrant out for his arrest, at least as of this past weekend. The guy has his 5th warrant out for his arrest for not showing up to a court appearance. I don't know how somebody who is in this much legal trouble doesn't at least keep on top of his court cases. Like, he's always having run-ins with the law with the DUI and coke bust that we did over at the U.S. Sun. But this guy just continues to get in trouble. And I can only imagine Miranda is probably so disappointed in, the example he's setting for their children. So you can tell she's very, very, very over him. So it was interesting to see her get upset with Taylor. Taylor is continuing her hot mess tour throughout the season.
I know. Why?
I know.
Taylor, stop sleeping with Dakota.
Or stop trying to bring other men into your life to get him jealous. Like, it's supposed to be over. She meets this guy, Ben, on TikTok.
And then invites him over to stay with her.
This random dude.
Totally random.
Totally
He's
random.
a hot guy on TikTok. She's like, let me DM him and have him come on over to Utah.
It's so strange. He meets all the more mom talk. Like, he has this awkward interaction with all of them. Then they play this weird game about like he's a bachelorette contestant. The whole thing is so strange.
Yeah, it's just like, girl, and she's like, I'm just experimenting. And then they do like a speed dating thing, which is more funny. That's more reasonable. Like, go to a speed dating thing. Don't invite a stranger over. Don't pay for his flight to come on over. I don't know if it was paid for. I'm just
assuming.
Guessing.
Yeah.
And they are like, we need Taylor to dip back into dating and to prove she's ready. But I think all her actions prove she's not ready to date. She just needs to go to therapy, get rid of Dakota's, the toxicity with Dakota, and then move on. But nope, she's going like where we are now. She's going any day to Bachelorette to film. And as we know from the trailer, she sleeps with Dakota.
So many times. There's so many times. So many times.
So it's just like, how are you going to move on? And then she gets really upset with Dakota when she finds out that he has sex with someone at Vanderpump Villa.
Which, of course he did.
But he's allowed to. They're single.
They're single. Like he does complain at points about the double standard that is held against him, but he kind of has a point in some of it. I'm all Team Taylor over Dakota any day, but you're inviting this guy that you just met on TikTok to your house, but he's not kind of. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't always make a lot of sense.
There is
Taylor.
a double standard there, and it's like, of course, if you're not together, he is allowed to sleep with other people. But I think for her, a big thing of it too is that it's going to be on the show on Vanderpump Villa, and so. But also, same was the TikTok guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's completely the same. I can't figure out any differences really.
I think she actually did. She invite him? I can't remember if she invited him first. If she invited him as in response to Vanderpump Villa, no, right?
I don't remember the exact timing. It's a little muddy, but
yeah.
But either way, I feel like he sleep, and then she's going on The Bachelorette regardless, and she'll shortly sleep with people there, or at least hook up or kiss or something.
Yeah.
So it's like you're gonna date 30 men, or I think there's about 30 men, and he sleeps with someone on a trip. It's like, girl, I just think she needs to move on. And, we'll see more of that in The Bachelorette. And I'm praying to God she finds a good guy and can move on. But we'll have to see on The Bachelorette this season.
Taylor also got a boob job.
Oh my God.
Bachelor, she got a little what'd she say? It was like a tweak?
Yeah, so she gets a tune-up.
Tune-up?
Yeah,
tune-up.
Did you make that up or is that what she
said? Trademark.
But I love that she's kind of like, all right, so in order to prepare to go on The Bachelorette, I don't need to do, it's not like, oh, let me work on my mental health. Let's go get new boobs.
Let's get new.
That's bad. Like,
I don't know that there's anything wrong with that, but like Taylor.
Yeah, like this, that shouldn't perhaps be the priority.
I mean,
in my opinion.
And you could like, you can walk and chew gum. You can get your boobs fixed, but then also
Yes.
work on your mental health. Like, and also not sleep with your ex Dakota repeatedly. Like, these are things that like you could do both of them. You can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, what is The Bachelorette gonna look like? I mean, it looks really messy. There was a new trailer out where she's like yelling at one of them and takes back a rose.
Oh my God.
And then we also, our colleague Nicole Chenoweth did a story about how they really did different casting this year. So we don't have just like not necessarily virginal, but we don't have like single guys who've never been married. There's a lot of divorced dads, like a lot of people who have long histories and pasts, and you've like worked on some of those as well.
So that casting is wild. So
Yeah.
one of the contestants we did a deep dive on at the US Sun, and this crazy story. One of the contestants left former Congressman Madison Cawthorn paralyzed from the waist down.
Mm-hmm.
This was a terrible accident that happened when they were just teenagers in Florida. And, former Congressman Cawthorn has spoken a lot about this accident and how it changed the course of his entire life. So that's a huge, crazy backstory for this one contestant. And so there's lots of stories like that. So it's definitely, they've picked a very spicier bunch of men, I think, for Taylor, which I'm very surprised about because Taylor brings so much of her own baggage to this show.
But I kind of love that. Like, these aren't just single men who've never lived. Like, they can match her in having baggage in their past.
These are going to be some real life stories.
Yes, and stay tuned to The Sun for more about the men before The Bachelorette premieres March 22nd. Yeah. So Demi is on camera, and at least in the first episodes, she's getting along with the girls. It is bizarre to see her and Jesse. They go to like a farmer's market with Jesse's two kids. And they're like being friends again. And that's so weird because we haven't seen that in a long time. And we know, like everyone knows, like from all the off-camera behavior that this doesn't last. All the social media interactions. Never forget fruity cereal.
Never forget fruity cereal. Yum. It's very strange to see Demi and Jesse in the beginning of this. I think it's like episode 2. And they're getting along, and it's the first time that they're hanging out, kind of since everything's gone down. And it looks like Jesse's ready to turn a page with this drama. Mm-hmm. And all of Mom Talk is basically saying, we will accept Demi back if Jesse accepts Demi back. So there's all of this pressure on Jesse to really like bring her into the fold if that's, what she wants. And so there's like this hope that Demi is going to be, not a hope for the viewer, but there's hope for Mom Talk to include Demi again. And it kind of just crinkles up and burns into flames. Like
that's a good, throwing a piece of paper into.
It doesn't go well.
It doesn't go well pretty fast. So Jesse and Demi decide to have like a spiritual healing session, which is interesting. I'm not sure exactly who this woman is, but it's a therapy session for all intents and purposes. And they go there, and the healer is like, it sounds like to Demi, it sounds like you had an emotional affair with Marciano. And Demi's like, absolutely not. That did not happen. I was not inappropriate in any way, shape, or form. And then Jesse, you see her, and it like cuts out to a confessional, and Jesse's like, that's not what she told me off camera. She admitted that she took things with Marciano way too far and had an emotional affair.
I mean, like, she's like talking about and stuff over text messages. Like, it's so clear that at the very least, you engaged this man for like many, many hours of your time. Like,
it was very inappropriate comments.
Yeah.
That's like that a lot of people found inappropriate. Yeah. Like a lot of sexual innuendo, not even innuendo, just straight up sexual talk. So Jesse, right in that moment, is like, I can't trust Demi because she's acting one way on camera and another way off camera. Jesse has a dinner with some of the other girls, and she tells them what happened, and they all I feel like Jessie really, I know it used to be Taylor as the leader of Mom Talk, but it's really Jessie. She's like, guys, we don't trust Demi anymore. I mean, a lot of them were on the fence. Jen has always hated Demi, but she's like, guys, I can't trust her. She's not being authentic on camera about what she said to me off camera. And obviously, in the mix with that, there's all the legal stuff going on. And then also, Demi is kind of done dirty by the producers when they have her and Brett at a recording session because Demi and Brett decide they want to be singers and they're singing True Colors. And
Which is so ironic.
yeah, True Colors.
It's so ironic.
And in the trailer, they make it sound like Demi and Brett have horrible voices, but honestly, on the show, they don't sound bad.
They don't sound bad. I mean, I don't know what they did for these promos, but they sound like cats scratching on a board. Like, it's horrible. They sound pretty okay. I mean,
they sound fine.
Yeah, they sound fine. I mean, would I buy their album?
Is it Sabrina Carpenter? Is it Ariana Grande?
No, but they sound fine.
They're not Sonny and Cher. They're not.
Yeah, no.
They're not like the new couple.
No,
it's not happening. As we know, Demi had a horrible reunion. Everyone was kind of like piling on, accusing her of lying about the Marciano sexual assault, just really fighting. And then she basically doesn't show up for Whitney's big event. Whitney, who's supposed to be one of her best friends, she doesn't show up for her event the next day, and it's because she doesn't want to film.
Yeah. Yeah, and all of the other women are there, obviously, and like they're like, wait, you're supposed to be like supporting your best friend, and you're just going to be completely MIA, and it's just so like it's so against everything. And then of course they get even more infuriated when she shows up to Dancing with the Stars.
Oh my God! So she shows up to Dancing with the Stars, even though she's pretty much quit Mom Talk again. She said she's done filming because she doesn't feel comfortable about how the reunion went. And then she shows up for the Dancing with the Stars premiere with the whole cast and sitting at their table, going like, hey, and that did not sit well with the ladies.
No, I mean, it's like, what the are you doing?
Right.
Really, what are you doing?
And then just lastly, another thing to point out is we start seeing the seeds of a conflict between Whitney and Jen while they're filming Dancing with the Stars in LA.
Yeah, and this is something that plays out. It's very like their filming schedule is so aggressive. So the stuff that happens between the seasons, you get to see what actually transpired during the season. So like we had seen that there was beef between Whitney and Jen when Jen got voted off of Dancing with the Stars, and she went on TikTok and said that she wasn't going to vote for Whitney. She was like, I'll tell you who I'm not voting for. I'm not voting for Whitney.
And everyone's like, what? I thought you were friends.
And then Whitney was like furious about that. And fair. Even Jen said it was wrong of her to say afterwards. But this caused such a major rift that they have such a serious beef now throughout this season, basically.
Right, and I know we're going to see more throughout the season of exactly what went down to have them have a huge falling out. Because at least in the premiere, they seem to be on good terms. Jen even stays with Whitney at their home in LA. We start seeing some conflict, and that's going to be playing out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much does it for this week, but we will keep breaking down the series here. So please stay tuned next week for more drama, more exclusive tidbits from Jess. Just keep watching The Sun Showbiz YouTube.
So as we always ask, will Mom Talk survive this?